Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 on the northeastern side of the map. We'll end with Team 2 on the southwestern side of the map, also known as the blue team, versus the red team. Starting off with Team 1's eastern player, we have in Stitch Blue. He is Orb. He's playing as a Cypress for this match as a 21-37 rated, the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall by 329 points of rating. To his west, we have in Royal Blue, it is Borgmo playing as a Cypress as well. He is a 1583 rated. And last but not least for Team 1, we have a Cybrid, once again, of Strider. He is an Amethyst Purple as a 1495 rated. So for Team 1 side of the map, we have 0 UEF, 3 Cyberns, it's really bad 3, 0 Aeon, and 0 Seraphim. Take a look at Team 2's western side. We have in Ruby Red, it is Wirezak playing as a Seraphim. He is an 1808 rated. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. To his southeast in Chevy Crimson, another Seraphim. It is Excelsior. He is a 1671 rated. And last but not least for Team 2, we have the Seraphim of Schumer. He is a 1603 rated, again in orange color orange. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 0 UEF, 0 Cybrin, 0 Aeon, and 3 Seraphim, which means for the entirety of this map, there are no UEF and no Aeon players, so apologies to those loyal to the old Earth Empire and to those loyal to the Princess. Hopefully you'll enjoy the game nonetheless. And for these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation, currently sitting at 11,000 mass. We're up at the 12 because I like even nice round numbers in my head to divide by. It is 2,000 mass almost per player to grab. And there's definitely pockets of reclaim that players want to grab. There's a little bit in the ponds to the east and in the west, and actually some of the ponds in the middle as well. There's also some nicely tucked away reclaim on these tiny little ponds here to the eastern and western side. So there are wrecks in the water to grab as well as rocks and whatnot on the main landmass. This map is going to be a little bit difficult. It's kind of hard to tell in terms of the layout, but there's all these plateau sections. We have this one over here, and we have one right there. We have another one, of course, mirrored over there, one there. So it's going to be a little bit annoying to get to the extra mexes, and also this drops off a cliff, so it's a lower section here and a lower section here, lower section there. So it's a lot of up and downs in the map, so players are not going to be as easy to get to locations on the map. So lots of transports, maybe teleporting for comms, who knows, and just distance building. We do see Team 2 has dropped out forces here from Zwarzak, grabbing this little naval facility, going for some frigates to secure that side of the map. Team 1 bombers inbound, thinning out the engineers. All but one killed off, and that one's killed off anyways. In terms of player movement, everybody on Team 2 has left their main bases. Team 1, we have one holdout being Borgmo. He hasn't gone for his T2 air headquarters yet, but I assume he will go for it shortly. You could say there are 3 lanes, but I mean, when this one's kind of cut in half and this one's kind of cut in half, really, there's the main landmass, main section of the map. There's water here and here. We do see players taking positions in said ponds, so we might see some naval combat along this route. We'll probably see more land fighting down the middle. We do see Team 1 has taken the upper plateau to the west. You would think that'd be Team 2's, and you would think this would be Team 1's over here, but Team 1 has secured both of the upper plateaus, so not looking good on the eco situation eventually for Team 2. Of course, they're both expanding out, both in the middle of the map and otherwise. We do see there's kind of not a lot of mexes in the middle of the map here. It's a huge section of no man's land, bar that mex that I just highlighted. Main sets of mexes are concentrated around these, again, western and eastern plateaus and lower sections of the map, to be fair. We do see Team 1's Striders inbound to maybe kick out Zwarzak on the western side, so maybe combi-com action there. The remaining players for Team 2, one of them is going to grab that mix and then head east. and the other one's going to hold position in the middle. We do see that Team 1's Borgmo has left his main base. No upgrades as of yet for anybody have been completed at 7 minutes, but I would not be surprised to see maybe an early T2 air from somebody. Navy is online for Team 2 in the west and in the east, both of them under control of Zwarzak. We do see Strider moving in to go after Zwarzak's position here. It's not great in terms of hit points in favor for Team 1, just because it's a Cybern versus a Seraphim. And Zwarzak is going to get out of the area sooner rather than later. Become action occurs between those two players. And bombers are inbound, thinning out more of those mixes for Team 2. Again, every little bit counts, especially with it being about 30 mass separating the two teams. Again, that's 10 mass a second. May not seem like a lot, but when you're really just at Team 1 mech stage, I mean, 2 mass, 4 mass, 6 mass a second, those numbers make a huge difference in terms of spamming out maybe those 1 or 2 more units. T2 Navy online for Zwarzak. Maybe going for... No, he's going for torp launchers, not going for subs. And on the eastern... Actually, I don't even think he could go for T2 subs. Seraphim have... No, Seraphim do not have T2 subs. They have T1 and T3 subs. So, there's that. Those Yasals, those nasty little things in the water. Team 1, we have still Team 1 Navy, maybe T2 Navy, but I don't know. We'll see how that eastern side goes. Team 1 pretty much almost secured the entire eastern edge of the map bar. Again, this kind of lonely little section of the map down here. I don't expect it to be that much down there. Same with up there to the northwest. It's just kind of just there. T2 mech's already done and upgraded to for Strider. And a couple of other defenses coming online to protect the little position here for Zwarzak. That's the first headquarters I've seen of the game. It's T2 Navy. We do see T2 air done for both Strider and Borgmo, if I can say his name right. Orb and Excelsior are trading some shots there. Excelsior gets a little bit of reclaim. Transport shot down, but the units have landed. They are the Thams, not the Zui, which we normally see in terms of drops, but it looks like he just wants to move a little bit quicker and just not worry about maybe sort of just a couple of random units just patrolling. Mex is being eliminated, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Ooh, he's going to grab 10 and then maybe 12, so that's 12 mass gone for Team 1's Warp. And we do see that Excelsior just sitting here being pummeled by naval facilities, not naval facilities, naval vessels. We do see Excelsior is going to drop into the water, but he's dropped severely in terms of hit points. T1 torp launcher moving to be completed. Still frigates here. No subs yet for Team 1. Looks like the frigates are inbound to kick out the facility here. T2 Navy is coming online for him as well for Zwarzak. Gun started for Zwarzak as well. He might surprise Strider's comm. That's not going to be great for him. T2 air online for anybody? Nope, not online yet for Team 2. And Team 1's Excelsior does not make it. I don't know why he didn't just go south, but I guess he wanted to join the middle of the map, which again, he would have just been fine, I feel like, in the going southward, because no subs were being built. Still no subs were being built. T2 Navy coming online. Team 1, and there goes that facility. But I'd see what I'm dealing with. They're monsters, says Zwarzak. We have cruiser missiles inbound going after the mechs, now going after the comms. Comms taking 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, and is now going to fall back. Upgrade at 50 some odd % for Team 2's Zwarzak. So again, it's now a 3v2 in favor for Team 1 at 11 minutes. Not looking great as well for Team 2 in terms of eco. Team 1 starting to pull away just a smidgen. Don't smidgen more. Now it's about 40 masses a second instead of 30 masses a second in the lead. Again, Team 1 has claim over the eastern and western plateaus. And, of course, the lower section of mexes that have a trimex, a couple of one-ops. We have missiles inbound from Team 2 Schumer in the middle of the map. We have gunships inbound to say, you can't have that no more, Team 1 AA. 1 missile gets out at the last second. 1 mech's down, 2 mechs down, and soon to be 3 mechs is down. So that lead not really expanding out that Team 1 likes to see. Interceptors trying to intercept, but interceptors from Team 1 say, no thank you, we don't want any of whatever you're selling, your extended car warranty. We do see cruisers starting to move in. Again, use that AA. More mechs is being eliminated. And Strata, don't know if he was trying to reclaim that cruiser, but not really going well for Team 1 now on the western side. Guncom now for Zwirerzek's going to clean out the western side. And Team 2, Schumer, now getting a nice little defensive position online in the middle. Would like to see a shield. Maybe he's going to rebuild the TML, but Team 1 knows about it at this point, so it might not be worth it. We have a couple of gunships inbound to maybe go after the cruiser, but just thin out a transport. And transport says, no thank you. And there goes that little couple of Zooies there. T2 Navy online for Team 1 going for the Salems. I am kind of surprised not see the missile go after the headquarters. That would be a nice grab. He's going for more Team D now. Still not building the TML. I feel like there's still targets of opportunity for Team 2 to take advantage of. And the game is slowed down, I think, considerably just because of the map. This is the main vector of attack for land, and on the eastern and western sides, again, it's so disjointed. It's not really worth the trouble for the most part. We do see there is a nice little half squadron of Cormorant class torpedo bombers. Almost, I don't even know what I said, but I was going to say. But looks like it's targeting that cruiser. Cruiser's not going to have a fun day, because those are going to not survive much longer. Another cruiser inbound, but it's going to replace the first one. There it goes. Cruiser is gone. Zwirerzek gets some veterancy. And now the destroyer from Team 2 just saying, nah, Strider, you can't pop out of the water, because we're just going to shoot you with the lasers, and that's not fun. T2 go upgrading to T3. T2, no other. Oh, no, T2 air has started for Team 1's orb as well. T2 Navy, T2 land, T3 air is online for Zwirerzek. Again, he's at double base at 109 mass a second, putting that eco to good use. Another cruiser is not targeted because it's going after the destroyer. Destroyer is not one tapped, but one more set might be enough. Strider's going to try to walk away, but I don't know if he'll make it. It's a lot of hit points to lose. Missiles trying to, again, shoot where the comm was, not where he's going. And he actually turns around. He might have actually gotten out of range. But, nah, I don't think he would have, honestly. He's going to, I think, suicide himself on top of the destroyers and cruisers. Doesn't kill off any of them, but severely damages them both. So, revenge for Team 1. On Team 1 for Excelsior's kill. So now it is a 2v2 tied-up game, with Orb inheriting everything over there to the west. The 2 bases for Orb, 2 bases for Zwirerzek, and Force is still inbound down the middle. Wall section was stopped. I thought you were free if you ran. Nah, wasn't looking that close. Nah, says Strider wasn't. Yeah, and I forgot it doesn't look like the destroyer has very, long range, but this map is kind of small. You can't even see the northern and southern edges of the play space, or the actual, possible play space. So, that range is not extended. It's just a bigger percentage of the map, like the Aeon sensor package. It's not about the range of the thing itself. It's about the fact that the map kind of dictates, again, what percentage of the map you see. So, who would have thought that the map dictates what you see? Who would have thought? Anyway, we have some THAMs inbound. Team 1 PD being rapidly produced. T3 mechs is also being produced. Increase that eco exponentially. Team 2 is starting to catch up in eco. And there's a lot of THAMs here, but again, there's 2 T3 mexes. They take a lot of shots because they have 6,200 hit points. And T2 gunship, more T2 gunships. Yeah, the THAMs aren't going to do a lot of work, but they did wipe out, more mexes here. Maybe should have gone this way, but those are only Team 1 mexes for now. At this stage, Team 1 still leading, but not by much. Missile inbound for the headquarters. Oh, it gets shot down. Nice TMD there from that nice little zapper from Orb. So the time of the missile is pretty much over with at this point, unless he tries to overwhelm them with some cruisers. But again, Team 1 has the eastern side, Team 2 has the western side, and they're about to claim the upper plateau, which technically would have been theirs initially, but they didn't prioritize it, and there's only so much you can do. And Team 1, again, has been getting, a decent chunk of mass. It's not nothing. It's not the best thing on the planet, but it's not nothing. You see Zwirerzek going for a T2 upgrade on board his comm. T2 land still being the main stage focus for Schumer. Might want to transition to T3. Again, the game has died down considerably in the action, just partly because of the map itself. It's not conducive for sustained land engagements, and air is not at a point where it's super influential in terms of ASFs. Team 1 has T3 air online. T3 land started for Orb. And again, it's all Sirens versus all Seraphim, so faction advantages are definitely going to be on display. We have the cruisers constantly bombarding this position. They need to land troops up there. The TMD is too strong unless they really want to spam up cruisers, which, again, that's a lot of mass devoted to that. I don't know if they want to spend that much. And we do see Spy Plane getting, hey, there's some mexes down there that might be targets of opportunity for missiles from Team 1. Attack missile launcher might be thinking about other opportunities. There's no TMD up here. There's a couple of T2 mexes there and there that could grab. The shielding is... Oh, it's collapsed because board 1 doesn't have power. And he's getting it back online, so he's fixing that. There is some PD over here to the west. Air facility being built. Land facility already built. There's that distance building coming into play. And it's just going to be a slow encroach movement from Team 2 on that western side. Another force of units inbound. It's the Yenzin this time. They have hover, of course, so torpedoes wouldn't work against them. But there is a cruiser just hanging out. Actually, those are Yenzin. No Zooey in the mix? There's no Zooey in the mix, which I feel like is kind of a missed opportunity in terms of getting that hover to their advantage. The more spammable gunships inbound. Flak says, nah, A couple of Yenzin will get eliminated by the gunships, but not really mission critical. We do see more gunships coming into play. That amount of flak isn't enough. I think Team 1 just needs to deal with the flak, and then they don't even have to worry about anything else. Again, shoot at the stuff shooting at you, and then shoot at the stuff that can't shoot at you. And again, it's actually the Yenzin opened the door for the missile to rain in to kill up the headquarters. So at a bare minimum, there's that ASFs are inbound from Team 2's Wiresec. They clean up the air. We have some bouncers moving in to assist with AA protection efforts and a little bit of air fight. Again, this stage, nothing too critical. Losing 4 or 5 ASFs. TMD, there is some tactical missile redirection systems on board. Yep, there it is. Redirects that missile. So that facility will stay alive. And that TML is now... Oh, it's going to be fine because the TMD took it out. Facility up in the upper plateau still being shot at by cruisers, but I think that's going to be slow rolling. And what's funny, there's actually no weapon systems on board any of the things that can actually target ground units. So actually, you could actually walk the engineers up and just capture everything. You could capture the TMD, you could capture the flak, the shield, because there's nothing there that could actually shoot at the engineers. Unless, stuff came in, but nothing natively there would actually be able to fight back in terms of being captured by the Seraphim. Engineers T3 land now started for Schumer. We do see a nice little Omni in the middle of the air grid. Definitely an interesting position to put the air grid. It puts it around the hydrocarbon. It's not cascadable because it's not volatile. It doesn't, produce a lot of power, but it's not cascadable. So there's that. It is providing some adjacency, though. You could put maybe... you wouldn't put E-storage. You could put... I don't know what else you put in there. Maybe just some power generators, because why not? Those aren't super volatile, unlike their bigger cousins of the T3 variety. And, yeah, they're going to wipe stuff out. You could have captured it, but I feel like maybe it's not even that important to capture it at that point. You do see some bricks moving in on the eastern side. TMLs aren't going to be able to punch through that. That cruiser's still sitting there, not very helpful. Oh, saves that mechs. Missiles raining in now to the eastern side. And grabs that. 6 mass a second mechs. Team 2 still behind, but not terribly. Even in terms of total mass accrued, it's not by much. ASF's actually sitting on the little island over here to the west. Tons of engineers hanging out. Oh, please try to capture an ASF. That would be funny. Oh, no. Team 1 AA being built. I feel like Team 1 PD would probably be better. That'd be even funnier. Just some PD shooting at some ASFs. Can it target? It can't target units on the ground that are air units. That's interesting because I guess they're treated like ground units. Huh. Didn't know that. Or didn't maybe just recognize that. Another missile inbound. That's from Zwires XCOM himself. It's going to hit that T2 mechs there. That's a nice grab there. Okay, it's another 6 max a second. There's another T2 mechs over there that's not dead yet. And speaking of which, wiped out. Oh, those are cruiser missiles. Never mind. Wall section blown up. We do see some gunships still roaming around. Team 1 is now on the defensive. They've lost the western side The only thing really is they have left is that mechs up there. T3 land, T2 air, T2 air, maybe backup T3 land facility. T3 air online for Borgmo. And T2 air online and T3 land. So we're getting into the more techier stuff of the game. Missile inbound, misses the bricks. It was a lovely attempt though. I think that was from cruisers actually, not from the Crom. Crom did take some damage. Lots of Team 1 Zooey just being ripped apart. That's a lot of artillery shell fire. And again, those bricks are kind of pooping one another, which means they stop moving for a brief moment. The artillery can do a decent job of AoEing a little bit of that. PD being built now to deal with the remaining bricks. And again, Team 1 took in a lot of Team 1 units. And I don't see really anything, maybe some Yenzine mixed in there, but no Ilshis, which is kind of weird, especially for Seraphim not producing Ilshis. We do see some gunships being produced. Othams are also on the roll. We do see that the PD is behind the radar instead of in front of it, but there's the Omni back there, so I'll just give him a pass for that one. And the game is slowed down again. We do see Team 1's remaining commanders in the pond up here and here, so nice little protection there. Team 2's commanders are in the middle of the map, so a little bit more targetable. And Team 1 looks like Strider's like, stop doing stuff. Shield is down, but most of the bricks are down, so the firepower is pretty much gone at this point. Going to be getting another PD online. He'll rebuild the shield right on top of the old one, cut down the cost of consumption or production. We have more AA units inbound. We have tactical missile being redirected, and we have a nice little Salem that, oh, it gets saved by the, that's a very long range on that missile redirect system. That is far, good sir. That looks like it's the orange range. Still, that seems like it's very wide coverage. Dang. Yep, shield being rebuilt on top of the old one. Couple of bricks still remain, but I don't think they really get anywhere. We have Othams coming in to reinforce. We have missiles still raining in from Zwirerzak's comm. Now we're starting to see some TMD protect the mexes. TMD over here being shot at. Bomber just immediately wiped out. There goes a mex. It's not long for this world. There it is. Another mass assassination. Team 2 heavily in the lead for Eco. I want to say that's power related. Yeah, that's definitely power related. So Team 2 at 600 mass a second. Team 1 at 400. That's 200. That's not double. That's 50% more mass being produced by Team 2 than it is for Team 1. Roughly. That's a lot of mass to be ahead. Not number-wise, it's not terrible because we've seen matches where one team leads by 4, 5, 6, 700 and the other team still wins. But percentage-wise, that is big, because it's, again, 50% more. So technically, you produce 2 units. That'd be 100%. You produce 3 units, and your opponent produces 2. You keep it like that, and eventually you have 6 to 4, 12 to 8, 24 to 16. Like, that number makes a difference after a while. The first couple of them, not too bad, but eventually it's kind of unsustainable. You do see Zwirerzak again hanging out. Almost 4-star vet. T2 missile and gun. No Billy Nukes. I'm waiting for a Billy Nuke to show up, and no all Seraphim. There's no Aeon Sniper Commander. There's no what else? UEF Tanky Com with Nano and Shield, but we can get Seraphim Tanky Com with Nano. We do see Monkey Lord is inbound. Team 2 has some Othams. Not a lot of support nearby, and there's a nice little Salem walking on land. Were those cruisers shooting at it? Yep, those are cruisers shooting at it. Missile inbound. Will it hit the Salem? It's slow enough. It hits it right on its back. And another missile will be enough to wipe out the Salem. And still highlighting from Team 1's. Oh, does it hit? It does. Takes out a chunk of hit points for that. Monkey Lord. Another missile inbound. Oh, it's going to miss. Yeah, it thought it wouldn't keep moving, and it did. But the Salem is down. And Team 2 has done a very... Oh, no. Drops that too short. All he needs is, I think, one good missile hit, and that Monkey Lord is dead. If not very, very close. Missile launcher at 7,000 mass killed. Once that Monkey Lord is dead, definitely a little bit more mass killed for that one. But nice tracking there from Team 2. Schumer, nice predictions. Not 100% perfect, but hey, That's a lot better than nothing. Missile will hit barely too short. He just needed to extend it just a little bit further out. And another attempt. Team 2 doesn't have the defenses left. Oh, he barely missed. Oh, that's unfortunate. Transport picks up an engineer, gets him out of danger. That TML 8,000 mass killed. It's gone, but it definitely paid for itself and then some. 28 minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 2 players left. Team 2 at 2 players left. Team 2's lead. Where did Team 2's lead go? Did I read that number wrong? Oh, it's power related. Okay, that's why. Schumer, get your power fixed because that's not looking good. Autumns versus Bricks. It just comes down to essentially number of. Brick gets a little bit of efficiency, stays alive for a smidgen longer, but tons of highlighting from Team 1's dead player Extractor, just trying to help focus attention. There's a reclaim here. That Monkey Lord. Is it going to get Control K'd? No, that's a new one. Where's the old one? The old one's down there. Looks like it's just going to sit there and regen. Chicken was spotted by Team 2 somewhere right there. Oh, I guess that one's online. We do see saying, hey, go this way, which there is an Omni, but it won't cover the eastern edge. It will only cover to about where those mexes are. And at that point, Team 2 will notice it by then anyways. So it probably needs another Omni somewhere. In the middle of the map would be nice, but I don't think we're going to get that. We have a chicken inbound, but there is a chicken. We have a monkey lord inbound, but we do have a chicken inbound. Second one is under construction now. Team 2 is back up to 650, so Team 1 is caught up considerably. See, that makes me think it was power related, but he was getting overflows. So, ooh, that's again, Schumer is still not looking good on power. Everybody else on Team 1 looking decent on power. Schumer should drop. Did he fix it? He did drop it. Yep, there it goes. There goes his mass income. Not terrible, but not great. He's just more P-gens. He really wants to finish that chicken, but you need the power to produce the mass, to produce the chicken. So, kind of a, rock in a hard place. You want to build the thing, but you can't build the thing because you don't have the power to build the thing, but you need the thing to build the thing to build the power. And it's kind of a unfortunate situation. We do have a nice little naval facility here. Not a whole lot up there, but, it's something. Team 2 has a facility here for cruisers. Might be what Team 1's trying to do and deal with those cruisers from Team 2. Again, those cruisers are just going to be annoying because they just constantly pump out missiles, and you just can't deal with the missiles unless you build Team D or you kill the units. Those are the only two options. You could missile redirect. The only problem with that is the missile redirect systems on board the Loyalist and the Siren cruisers is the TMD on board the cruisers will just nullify the missile anyway. So you can kind of play this really weird game of catch. You just kind of throw the missile one way and then the other way, and then you just throw another missile. You're just playing, back and forth. We do have another set of those bombers wiping out that cruiser. And again, they did wipe it out, so it wipes out that threat, but how much mass is that worth sinking into just for one cruiser when you can just build a Team D and call it a day? At least one Team D. We do see Chicken force the Monkey Lord down engage. Where's the Monkey Lord? Oh, it's down here. No, that's the other one. No, that's not the one I want. Where's the other one? Oh, the other one's up there. All the forces went north. So there's that. Where the Monkey Lord did not go all the way around. Gunships are inbound. We have some interceptors to assist. T2 mechs is upgrading to T3 mechs. Some of them will not get to be T3s today. And that count is dropping T1 bombers inbound from a nearby air facility to just thin out the numbers even more. Another T3 mech's gone. That's going to be a lot of mass for Team 2 they're missing out on. There are engineers to... Oh, they're gone. Never mind. And Monkey Lord will get up to almost 5-star vet. Almost 4-star vet. Oh, it does get up to 4 stars. It survives just a smidgen longer. That's an unfortunate situation for Team 2. They lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that one did upgrade to T3, so there's that. Artillery piece online. Couple of Salems just poking and prodding at that nice little T3 mechs. We have gunships inbound from Team 2. That's going to thin that number out quite quickly. We have ASFs inbound from Team 1, snipping at the heels of Team 2. We do have a reclaim field being scooped up by Team 2 Schumer now. That'll help refund the mexes that he lost. Second Salem is gone. Third Salem. Fourth Salem, actually. That's... didn't kill the T3 mechs. It will kill a little gunship. not so much. Chicken in the water. Don't know what it's doing down there, but Team 2 naval headquarters is gone. Looks like the Zooey and everything else blew it up. Something blew it up. And now Team 1 is being somewhat forced back. It's a lot of spam from Zwarzak. Is he prepping something? I mean, there's that. I mean, that's not a... it's not a big thing. And again, they don't have air control. 91 to Borgmo's 85. I mean, it's pretty tied. They could use the bomber to gain the air control or air dominance, but the only problem I have with that is it depends where the bomber lands. If it doesn't launch a payload at least once, not worth it. If it launches a payload, it lands on a vital target, like maybe a T2 air or sorry, T3 air headquarters or something, then yeah, that's more worth it. But I just don't know using the bomber as a way to get air control or dominance. It can work. It's just very expensive, especially if the wreck lands on the opponent's side of the map. Microlord assisted with bricks are inbound, and that little section of naval units, both the cruisers and the destroyers, not going to have a fun time. Microlord actually just says no thank you, and I feel like they could have actually wiped all those out, but I guess not. I thought I saw a sniper bot. There are sniper bots or two, but they're going to die here shortly. They didn't fall back in time, so there goes those. We have Team D being built. Team D. We have PD being built, but I think a little bit too late for that. We have the gunship focusing on the Microlord. Microlord will get vet from some stuff nearby. These are somehow still activated for whatever reason. ASF should be inbound. Team 2 trying to use them as a way to go Team 1 to engage. And nope. Don't engage. Bombers don't even get a payload to drop. That's unfortunate. Timing. 1 bomber, 2 bomber, 3. They probably would have either dropped it to super low hit points or would have just straight up killed it. We have Tort bombers inbound, thinning out Team 1's presence down there in the east. Chicken is being circled by Team 1, and there is that second chicken that Team 2's Zwarzak's been holding. If the chicken gives the crab a hug, that would justify not the damage, but the cost. But now with the Microlord coming in with the brick support, I mean, not really worth it. As long as the Microlord gets out of range, it gets veterancy, so actually it did a great job. Ion Storm, if it activates soon, no. So chicken dies kind of in a really weird no man's land, nothing nearby it to be killed off by it, so not a waste, but not great. SMD built for Team 2, another chicken done. Experimental bomber almost done. Team 1 and Team 2's ASF should have crossed 100 by now. Just clicking all the wrong players. 115 to 100. So a little bit now in favor of Team 1, but again, not by much. It's essentially just a good turn. And gunship's sitting on the ground, or pretty much sitting on the ground. Not good scenario to do. We have more PD being built, but the crab can outrange those. T2 artillery is definitely needed more than T2 PD. And at 36 minutes on the clock, again, Team 2 has 2 players left, being Borgmo and Orb, losing Strider second after Team 2 lost Excelsior. Schumer and Zwarzak remain. Eco heavily favors Team 2 at this point at about 300 mass per second, which is a decent amount to be ahead, especially at 36 minutes. And map control, I'd say 50-50. We'll just say 50-50 because, I mean, realistically, there's some fluidity to the map. There's some no man's land, so But Chicken's going to kill off this Microlord. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. As the Chicken, barely kills off that Microlord. I thought he wouldn't have gotten it. But now we have Chicken going to engage the Crab, which the Crab is walking forward, which is not great because now it means that it's closer to the Team 2 side of the map, which means that it's easier to reclaim. Bricks are nearby. Most of those bricks are going to get ioned to death. And that crab does get out of range, to be fair, but it's now severely damaged. We have sniper bot shooting at it now. And it's going to be driven away slowly. It needs to maybe turn around, but it will take some... Oh, and I missed it. Apologies. The bomber got 1 payload, prevents the construction of the megalith, and lands Nothing really vital there was lost. Yes, some hit points were taken off of the megalith, but I feel like this one would have been more worth it because you could actually go get the reclaim from that. So now Team 1 has a nice little gift of 20,000 mass, plus they can just use that to finish off a megalith and then start another one with it. So again, not the best use. So I have no idea why he sent it in like that, but who knows. Is he building another one? He's not building another one. He's building a nuke. That's probably what he should have spent his mass on first with the nuke. 38 minutes on the clock. SACU is running around. They are AA presets. I think they are unique to the Cybran faction. They don't have a lot of regen, but they have a lot of AA on board, so they're nice for setting up more AA positions when you're dealing with gunships and whatnot, but not in terms of survivability. Not like those 400 hit points a second regen nonsense Rambo presets. Again, not a lot of total hit points, but the regen is just insane. More than a Seraphim tanky com. And we have a little bit more securing of the reclaim field. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dead experimentals. 2 of them Team 2s, 2 of them Team 1s. Both teams want them, but I think Team 2 is going to get at least this one, and then maybe this one. This one might be the outlier. We have gunships. Oh, their fight happens. 38 minutes on the clock, and the ASFs go for the gunships, and they get immediately eviscerated by Team 1's ASFs. That is an air win. And Zwarzak says fail in the chat. So Team 1's Borgmo loses barely any ASFs, 134 to not a whole lot. He had another set of ASFs. Looks like Zwarzak had kept some back, but now that chicken is going to just make it, or make a break for the water. It will take decent chunks of damage. Looks like the sniper bots of the target. Not great flak, of course, on the chicken. It does something. It's not super great, though, but it's better than nothing. And we have AA slowly being built to help assist with protection of the engineers for reclaim purposes. In terms of eco, Team 2 drops. Is that another power-related nonsense? It's another power-related nonsense. So Schumer's constantly struggling with power, but Team 1 is starting to catch up a little bit. Now it's, I cannot, there we go. Cannot select the right button. Nuke is stopped. ARAS started for Schumer. Just trying to again scale that comms. Eco, both comms for Team 2 are in the same pond. Team 1 again have not moved their commanders in those northeastern and eastern ponds. Megawith now moving in. Reclaim of the first mega is almost done. And another chicken moving in. We have another chicken coming out of the water. Again, this one is heavily damaged. Those bricks would probably actually be more than enough to wipe it out if the chicken didn't focus on it first. And the bricks are actually going to get underneath the surface to use their torpedoes. Very nice use of tech there. And that chicken takes a couple more dual shots. Did it fire its gun underneath the surface? Oh, its head was exposed. Okay, because that's where its slow-moving fire is from its head. It's kind of hard to tell while it's moving, but that is its head that actually fires it, which I think is a weird place to have the blast fire from, but hey, I'm not the one that designs the units. I'm just the one that says, hey, that's a weird design, like the backwards walking Ilshis, just like those. I think they're weird. They make them unique, though, to be fair. I still think they're weird, though. And Crab is dead. Chicken is dead. That's just kind of a murder-suicide. Again, that's easy. Reclaim for Team 1. There's already an SACU there. We have gunships inbound. SACU, not SACU, but might be enough to save that. Oh, doesn't fire off the volley. Saves that T3 Max. Of course, the Cybran, everything naturally regens, so it's able to survive a little bit longer. I will note, the Ion Storm does not target does not target air units that are on the ground. For whatever reason that is, that's the only time that air units are not considered ground units is with the Ion Storm. Team 1, you have an SMD. It is loaded. Do you know about the nuke being produced by Team 2? You do, and it is built. And how far is it loaded? It is barely built, so it's not even close to being loaded. More P-gens. And more P-gens, and more stuff, and more stuff, and more stuff. T3 naval headquarters online for Team 2's Zwarzak. Maybe, is it that aircraft carrier? It looks like aircraft carrier. That's aircraft carrier. So he's going to produce some more missiles on board those things. We have a Corsair having some fun with an interceptor, and don't know what that's about, but doing something. Maybe mechs, who knows. Wiped out the facility up there, probably. Mass sent to Zwarzak to help load the nuke. And I mean, he needs more build power. He needs T3 build power, realistically. Really take advantage because he has 31,000 and he's still not spending enough on keeping it, going down instead of going up. Team 1, T3 has been started for for Orb. I keep thinking one or the other. More ASFs, more gunships it looks like for Team 1. More engineers, probably for assisting the SMD loading. Upgrading the shielding as well. Love to see that. Megawith now online for Team 1. And Reclaim related in terms of totals, teams pretty close to one another considering 6,000 mass differentiates them. Total mass recruit 1 million to 1.2 million. Tons of engineers producing more facilities. Looks like cruisers might be the focus for that facility down in the southeast. Again, just kind of starting to hem in Team 1. And again, it's just passive, constantly firing nonsensical TMLs, so it works. SACUs, they're dealing with the Autumn, but again, not a lot of hit points on board those things in terms of total or even just hit points per second. So it's not really great. Artillery rains in, do a little bit of AoE damage, still shoos them away. Autumn engage the bricks, chicken still reclaiming. And how's the nuke going? It's 25%. Still needs to spend all that mass. How's he doing on... he's down negative. He's doing a little bit better, but still, look at that mass just collecting in that bar. How's everybody else on mass consumption? So it's essentially one player on each team has a half-filled mass bar, and then the other one either has some or none. So it's one spending all of it, one spending some, and both of them are kind of trying to get a even, rough go of it in terms of, not consuming too much, but also not letting enough too much store. And I feel like with 3 SMDs pretty close to one another, unless Team 2 doesn't even know that the SMDs are there, which they don't, they know about that one, I don't think it's going to work out for that nuke. We have another airfight to the western side, almost missed it entirely. We have gunships moving in to start wiping out mexes versus Ryrzak. Once again, we have interceptors. That's not going to do a whole lot, but hey, it's cannon fodder, I guess. And more ASFs coming in. We have T3 air, of course, online for Team 2. Schumer, he's going to also get into the air game as well. Nukes are the target. The nuke is the target, and AA should probably be built sooner rather than later. Gunships are just going to go for it because the ASFs have now been dealt with, and that nuke won't even get the chance to fire. That is unfortunate. We have Team 1 AA, a couple of lightning tanks. That's not going to be enough. And we have ASFs just sending whatever they can. AA is way too late. Shielding needs to be built. It's not gonna work. And I think they might be hover just low enough. Shield is down. There goes the nuke. It gets reclaimed immediately, so it saves itself from being volatile. But problem is the nuke is now dead, and now those SMDs will definitely load, which means all of the everything is not going to work for that nuke for Team 2. And there's the T3 land headquarters target, going to wipe out the ability to produce stuff. And there goes the P-Gens, a little bit of power loss for Ryrzak. That's going to be a chain. We still have Strider saying, hey, you should go after this. It's going to be a little bit of a cascade. Again, have to watch out, though, for the AoE on the volatile gunship, not gunship, but the P-Gens. Look at this, just do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Going to grab there. That one will always explode just because of that. T3 air headquarters might also get grabbed as well. Transport's being shot down. Not that that's really super important, but that's stuff that Team 2 has to rebuild. Now the P-Gen goes down. That one's the last one. And, it's right there. It's right there. A couple more seconds. No, not enough. Had he stayed, he would have gotten it. The gunships are dead anyways, but air grid is down. Nuke is down. Zwarzak's, everything is down except for the naval headquarters. And Megawith in the water being the most annoying naval unit in the game to deal with. And SSU blows up on the shoreline. Autumn's moving in to intercept it. So Team 1 land defense is going to Orb. He's focusing on that. The gunships did very well for Borgmouth. 46 minutes on the clock. SMDs loaded, almost loaded, and halfway loaded. So the nuke probably wouldn't have fired anyway. That one is not loaded, but maybe would have been enough to be covered by that. We have some Optims hunting down some SACUs with their torpedo-capable bodies, vessels, figures, but tons of cruisers on the eastern side. TMD being spammed up. And again, that's the only thing you need to do with cruisers, as long as you're happy with just building TMD and your opponent doesn't produce anything else. In terms of cruisers. Just build TMD and call it a day. Don't gotta worry about too much. Especially if you have volcanoes, those do very well. Megawatts still annoying. The vessels over here again. It's slow going, but as a reminder, the Seraphim battleships can produce a nuke on board. Not as powerful as a stationary one, but still something. We have gunships moving in to intercept the units in the water from the Othams, but they're gonna wish that they probably didn't pop out of the water. 2 megawatts online. Third one coming online. Again, the fourth one is in. Third one's in there. Fourth one coming online. And Team 2, realistically, they just don't have much left. 47 minutes on the clock. It's just not looking good for momentum for Team 2. They're getting a nice little central base online, producing chickens. Eco is about the same. Is that power related, I wonder? No, it's not power related. That is straight actual production. Again, mexes were eliminated up here. That doesn't help. Power also doesn't help. We have a little bit of sniping some mexes over here. They did recover quite nicely, but it's just there's so many TMDs that it might just not be enough. There's more cruisers raining in all the time. Another SSU dies. Oh, here. Looks like that's Team 2's. Megawatt pops out of the water. I mean, I don't really know what Team 2 has left. They have 4 megawatts to deal with here. 48 minutes on the clock. Just not going well for Team 2. I mean, they're getting an air grid rebuilt and expanded upon and all that, but I think at this point it's just going to be a land war. Yeah, there's a lot of AA in the area for Zwirerzak. There's 43 of them there, and for Schumer there's 22, but there's just not a lot of land defenses. Yeah, the gunships, they exploited a little avenue on the western side. He's fixing that issue now in terms of lack of protection, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, especially with Team 2 focusing so much on air. The land's probably going to run them over. Honestly, Team 1 probably could have gone for artillery, given how small the map is, but it looks like they wanted to do other things. There's no Novaxes, so both teams don't have to worry about any sort of satellites just sitting in the sky. Chicken's going to give those megawatts, or try to give those megawatts a nice little hug, but we'll give... it'll singe that one's back, but barely. Western side, ASF starting to stack up once again. We have the chicken. We have the megawatt in the water. We have AA from the aircraft. They can also produce ASFs and whatnot, to be fair. That one's not loaded with a nuke. I feel like not have the orange bar be for the nuke. And is it another attempt on a run by on the gunships? There's not that many as there were the first time, and there has been more AA developed, and there's more mobile units running around, so I don't know if that's worth it. Chicken getting a nice engagement on that crab, but again, it's 1 to 3, and they keep not going in, 2v3s or 3v3s or anything, so it's not going to work. Ion Storm will activate, and it'll be right in front of that chicken, right to the side of that chicken, but chicken crab. Gosh dang it, I don't know why I keep saying chicken for crab. Artillery's going to help out a little bit. There goes that one. Oh, there it goes. But the main facility for Team 2, it's not going to live much longer than maybe a couple of minutes. 50 minutes now on the clock. We have Megalith just constantly pumping out damage. Again, it's slowly eating away the vessels on the western side. We have gunships inbound from Borgmo once again. And... nah, they might do some damage to his comm, but let's if they go after him, though. No, they're going after the aircraft carrier. They probably know he's there, though. No, they know there's a unit down there. They just don't know what it is. They probably assume, but you know what happens when you assume and whatnot. But the middle position here for Team 2 is gone. A bunch of artillery still pumping out some shots, but there's 3 megawatts plus the one in the water. Team 2 has maybe a chicken in the works. It's going to be a 4v1. There's just not a lot of units on the ground. And that's probably going to be about it. Megaliths. We have 2 more megawatts in the batting cage waiting, just warming up, waiting to go. It's not going well. And they're still inbound. Not a whole lot left for Team 2. Unless they have a surprise nuke somewhere that I completely missed, then maybe that'll help out. But again, Team 1 has SMDs everywhere in their bases, so you'd only have to go after the units that would buy them time. You know, if a nuke landed right about here, blew up a couple of them at least, that would thin out the herd, maybe give them enough time to build defenses. But Team 1's eco now is in the lead about 100 mass per second. I don't see any efforts to go for any big... Oh, okay, there's a nuke started here for Porkmo, so there's that. Scath has started because why not? Orb just wants to build or spend his mass, I guess. What's his mass looking like? No, not really. What's Wire's mass looking like? Oh, yeah, needs to spend that mass. He needs to spend it on stuff, but I don't think he just has the engineering power to spend it all. Another chicken's being produced, but he's building engineers now to spend it all. We still have battleships shooting at those megaliths, but again, it's one of those things where I don't think it's going to be enough. You really need just a surprise nuke or some big ticket item to really just punch back. But when you have 4 megaliths, they are some of them heavily damaged, to be fair. But now it's going to be 3. This one's on fire. That one's not looking good. This one's barely in the green still. This eastern front, we have a land invasion, thins out all the TMD, but now allows the cruisers to come in. A lot of those cruisers were wiped out. Their gunships them down to go after the Othams. But I feel like there's just so much bleeding from Team 2, especially down the middle. With 3 more megawatts inbound, it's just not looking too good. PD opens up, does a little bit of damage, but the PD is just going to get ignored by the megawatts. More mexes are being the favorite target of opportunity for Team 1. More chicken, more chicken, more chicken, but don't think it'll be much longer. Another unit dies. SACU just being surrounded. Rambo, distraction for a little bit, but not a lot. Nuke should be pretty much built. Yep, nuke is built and loading as we speak. 2 more megawatts coming in, cleaning out the pond to the west. And those megawatts still moving strong. We have 66,000 mass killed, 71,000 mass killed, 42,000 mass killed. And GG says Schumer. He kind of sees the beginning of the end. And there he goes. Heat control Ks. And now that just leaves Wirzak remaining for Team 2. And I mean, the bomber wasn't great from Zwarzak. I feel like he could have used it maybe a little bit better, just focused on the middle, maybe drew the ASFs away from the base and forced the engagement. I don't know if he misclicked or something, I have no idea, but he's on all the bases here for Team 2, but he just doesn't have the defenses in tow to deal with this. There's a chicken over here, but it's over here, not over there. That's not helpful. Gonna have to go all the way around, but at this point there's not much left that he can do. We have 2 megawatts down the western side. Wirzak's done with the experimental. He produces another chicken. The megawatts actually stop moving for a moment. We have bombers continuously raining in to go after said megawatts. Wirzak's still in the water, almost at 4-star vet, still at almost 4-star vet. Missile, is that from his comm? That's not from his comm. Another SSU dies, and that chicken just gets stomped on by 4 megawatts. Another chicken inbound. It's going to get not as stomped on, but still kind of stomped on. It might help kill off 1 megawatt, so it thins out the damage a little bit. There's bricks inbound now. There's deceivers just to obfuscate locations of stuff for Team 2. And there is Wirzak. He pops out of the water now, but it's not going to matter soon. His base is not looking good. All the megalith has to do is pop out and just bip the comm a couple of times, and that's it. Chicken's going to try to help assist with the defense, and it looks like he's trying to just hop between. Oh, he gets stomped on a little bit. That's not great. Megawatt not focusing on the comm. Oh, now he sees him. Looks like he's just going to accept death. And there he goes. Team 2 loses the last remaining player, and that's a GG's in the chat from him. Team 1 wins the game. 56 minutes on the clock. And, I mean, MVP goes to both of them, at least at a bare minimum, because they did very well. Orb on land, Borgmo in air. And I do think maybe it gives a little bit more prowess to Team 1's air for Borgmo. He killed off the nuke. He killed off almost the entire air grid. Not the T3 area quarters. I do think he could have stayed for a couple seconds and grabbed that, to be fair. But killed off a huge section of stuff for Team 2's. Zwarzeki put everything into the nuke and just didn't get anything out of it because it was killed off before it was loaded. And, I mean, Team 1 built a bunch of built a bunch of megawatts and went, okay, send them south. And Team 2 just wasn't prepared for that. That's the switcheroo. I think Team 2 was thinking maybe there's going to be more of a longer range affair. But Team 1's like, nope, psych, we're going to go for experimentals and just crush. So it is unfortunate when you miscalculate that, but it does happen. And, that Megawatt died at the very end, so there's that. But Team 1 wins the game, like I said, 56 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Thank you so much for watching to this point, and actually to the end of the video, because it's the end of the video. Again, Borkbill, I think, gets 55 to 45% in his favor for MVP, but they did both very well, so it's kind of hard to really pick just one, but I do think with what each were handling, they both did very well. So again, thank you so much for watching the very end of the video, and I will see all of you in the next one.